Hello student, good morning. We have to study the male reproductive system of rat. Histological structure of testes. Each testis is externally covered by a fibrous connecting tissues sheath called tunica albuginea. The tunica albuginea sends many septa into the matter of the testes divided into many parts, each part containing many number of seminiferous tubules. These tubules finally join to form a network called rat testes on one side from which arise vasa efferentia. Testis is a exocrine and endocrine organs. The exocrine or cytogenic part of the testis consists of many seminiferous tubules joined by the connective tissues containing blood capillaries and interstitial cells. Each seminiferous tubules internally lines by germinal epithelium. By the process of spermatogenesis, the cells of the germinal epithelium undergo for the formation of spermatocytes. Spermatids and spermatozoa, there are enlarged and elongated cells of Sertoli. Cells provide nourishment to developing the spermatozoa that are attached to them. The endocrine part of the testis consists of groups of cells called interstitial cells or cells leading seen in between the interstices of seminiferous tubules. They secrete the hormone called testosterone, which control development of secondary sexual characters. The copulatory organ, the penis. The copulatory organ in male rat is penis. It is protrusible. Penis is made up of two lateral corpora cavernosa and midventral corpus spongiosum. These contain crictile tissues which become turgid during copulation. The anterior part of the penis called glans is enclosed by a folds of skin called prepuce. The penis introduces the male gametes in reproductive tract of the female, where fertilization of egg takes place. Associated glands. The seminal vesicle are large sacculated organs. They are connected with each other's vas deferens near its distal ends. They lie in the abdominal cavity. The secretion of seminal vesicle helps sperms to migrate through the reproductive tract of female. Prostate glands lie near the urinary bladder and opens near the urethra. Secretion of these glands provide medium for the locomotion of the sperms. Cooper's glands are two small flask-shaped lie at the base of the penis. They produce mucus-like secretion which lubricate the distal part of the penis for smooth penetration in the vagina of female rat. The perpetual glands are flat structure laying between the prepuce and the skin of the penis. They open into the border of the prepuce. There are other two large coagulating glands in front of the prostate glands Secretion of these glands coagulates the secretion of the seminal vesicle, prevent the backflow of the semen. Spermatozoon. A fully formed sperm is a microscopic motile cell with its body divisible into three parts of head, a middle piece, a tail. The head is cylindrical in shape. It is occupied almost completely by the nucleus and acrosomes, which is at anterior end. The acrosome contains enzymes called lysine, which can dissolve egg membrane and helps in the penetration of the ovum necessary for fertilization. The middle piece contains centrioles and mitochondria. The tail is the longest part of the sperm. It is made up of flagellum. The beating of the flagellum propel the sperm in the seminal fluid. Next system, that is the female reproductive system of rat. Rat is the unisexual animal. The reproductive system of female rat consists of a pair of ovaries and a pair of ovaries. The ovaries are a pair of essential female reproductive organs. They lie in the abdominal cavity, ventrolateral to the kidney. Each ovary is small, more or less spherical body, suspended in the abdominal cavity by a broad fold of peritoneum called mesothelium. Histological structure of ovary. Each ovary is enclosed in tough transparent capsule called bursa ovarica, which is continuous with the mesothelium. Ovary is solid and externally rough due to the number of graphene follicles. In different stages of development, the main bulk of ovary is called stroma, which is divisible into two parts of outer cortex and inner medulla. The medulla is the middle small spongy part, contains connective tissue with the blood capillaries and nerves. The cortex formed of reticulum, fibrous connective tissues, smooth muscles, fibrous and graphene follicles. In various development stages, it is lined by germinal epithelium near to the connective tissues called tunica albuginea. The cell is the cortical region, gradually develops into the graphene follicles. Each mature graphene follicle enveloped by theca folliculi. The theca folliculi is surrounded by the outer wall of the follicle. On one side, it shows a group of cells called germ hills or discus proligerus, on which the oocyte is present. The oocyte is large rounded cells encircled by a layer of columnar follicular cells called corona radiata. The cavity between stratum granulosa and oocyte is filled with fluid called liquor folliculi. During the ovulation, the graphene follicles break and oocytes is liberated, and the remaining cells gather to the form yellowish body called corpus luteum. It remains only if the egg is fertilized. If the ovum is fertilized, the corpus luteum secretes hormone estrogen and progesterone. These hormones are responsible for implantation of the fertilized egg in the uterus and maintain pregnancy. If there is no fertilization of the egg, then the corpus luteum degenerates, having a scar in the ovary called corpus albicans. The oviduct, there are two long oviducts differentiated into two parts. The proximal part is looped called fallopian tube, and the distal part is wider called uterus. The anterior fallopian tube is ciliated called ostium. When the ovum is released from the ovary, it passes on the fallopian tube by the sucking movement of the ostium. Both the fallopian tube leads to the uterus. The two uteri run backwards and inwards and join to form a median muscular passage. The vagina lies ventral. The vagina and urethra together form common passage called as vestibuli. The external genital part is named as vulva. This is the male and female reproductive system of rat. Okay, thank you.